today on Dr. Phil.
I'm mad at you!
They spit, they punch, they even cuss. They call them little mean girls.
She started saying, I'm gonna talk in my devil voice to you.
After she says that, she'll hit me.
If I lose Montana to the dark side, I don't know what I would do.
You cuss and fight with her. You say, get the F away. Is it any puzzle why she does exactly the same thing? Coming up. Let's do it. I want you to get excited about your life.
Here we go, in 10.
Stand by, camera, set.
If you're going to talk to me, you're going to have to be honest.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
Showtime. This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Stand by, A, and roll A, check in. Go, Dr. Phil.
Okay, they kick, they spit, they punch, they even cuss. I'm not talking about the studio audience. I'm not describing Major League ball players. What I'm talking about are 4-, 5-, and 6-year-old little girls. Do we all think the boys are the mean ones, the ones that knock everybody over? Their moms call them the little mean girls. Now here's a taste of how they behave at home.
No! He smashed his finger on the piano. His finger stuck.
Scared cat?
When you sit down there and you behave yourself.
Stop it.
No, I hit her.
Pick them up.
Well, we decided to try something different and see how they would behave in an experiment if we put these three together. So with their mother's permission, we put their little girls in our green room together with several activities. Now, the question is, how would they behave once they were in the same situation? Now, the parents were there, but we asked them not to intervene. So don't think they're deaf, dumb, and blind. We just asked them to just see what happened while they were there.
I get the purple chair.
Okay, Heather, tell me your thoughts and reactions to that. I know you were there, but now seeing it on tape, what's your thought and reaction to that?
I can't believe she's that way. I can't believe that she can be that mean to other kids her age that just want to be friends with her.
You were in the room, right?
Yes, I was in the room.
Okay, what do you think about that? The fact that you're there, you're her mother, and she didn't seem to have any sense of the cat's here. Okay, you know, when the cat's away, the mice will play. The cat was there, and she still did that. What do you think that says?
It makes me feel like I haven't done anything as a parent to think that she could look and know that I'm in the room and still, you know, like you said, I'm going to get away with it whether you're sitting there or not.
Okay, and she's a sweet girl, right?
Oh, yeah, she's
so
very
we're not
lovable.
trying to demonize her at all.
Right.
So, but we need to talk about this and fix it. All right, let's move on. This time you'll see 4-year-old Alyssa. Now, she's just 4. And, well, just watch.
Watch. Sit down. Yeah.
Are you surprised at all? You've seen worse than that at home.
Yes.
Dad was in the room, right?
Yeah, Dad was in the
Okay.
room.
And so this is the first time you've seen
This is
that.
the first time I've seen it. I'm shocked that she felt that comfortable first time meeting the girls to just be herself and do what she wanted to do. Just, they're complete strangers. She doesn't care. She just,
So you think that's a good thing?
well, no, I really don't know. I'm in shock, and it's embarrassing. She'll do it to anybody. She's not scared of anybody. First time meeting them, their height, it doesn't matter.
All right, well, let's take a look at 5-year-old Genesis, who tried to get her way by pouting at first.
Can I see this real quick? Hold on, I need it. No. I'm using it. Can I sit here? I'm sitting right here. I'm sitting right here. Stop. I'm sitting right here. My spoon. No. Mom, can you fit a big box on this?
Okay. She's grounded for life, right? What do you think?
It's embarrassing because she absolutely rules me. She pulls the whining and the pouting and she controls me. I ask her for permission before I do things, before I go places, because I don't want to deal with the fit.
Okay, now she's how old?
5.
And you're asking her permission before you do virtually anything, right?
Yes.
And the idea is keep her happy, buy her what she wants, just try to buy your peace, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, and y'all want to know how to change this, true? You do. You said, well, I don't know, at least she's being herself, but you do think it's change-worthy behavior, right?
I hope so. I mean, I hope she can be. I hope we can change this.
Okay, you do want to change it. You don't think that
Definitely.
that's just good assertiveness.
No, I don't.
Okay, and you definitely want to change.
Oh, absolutely.
And no, don't even need to ask you, right? All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll see what we're going to do to get to the bottom of why these little girls can do what they're doing.
Montana has been removed from 2 different schools. She punches her friends, kicks her teachers. Montana has what she calls her devil's voice.
She goes, I'm gonna talk in my devil voice to you.
She started saying, I'm the devil. After she says that, she'll hit me.
Today we're talking about little mean girls. It's not just in school where you see all of the cliques and that sort of thing. Girls can be very aggressive. Recent studies show that girls as young as 3 and 4 will use manipulation and violence to get their way. Now, Mark and Heather say their 6-year-old daughter is the ringleader, ruler, and queen bee of the household.
My 6-year-old daughter is a mean, hateful little girl and has become an aggressive, nasty little boy.
I hit her. I'm going back.
If someone was to see Montana, they would see an angel face with a demon personality.
Here's that.
She has babysitters that refuse to watch her, and she hits, kicks, pinches her sister.
Get off!
She paralyzes my life. I'm really scared of her.
Give me my ball.
Montana has been removed from 2 different schools. She punches her friends. Look at you. I wouldn't want to be your friend, little grouch. Kicks her teachers. Montana was at school. A little boy cut in line. She scratched his face and drew blood.
This is an inappropriate actions report. Montana had knocked a kid down twice.
Montana has what she calls her devil's voice, where she actually talks like she thinks the devil sounds.
She goes, I'm gonna talk in my devil voice to you.
Yes, it is.
She started saying, I'm the devil. After she says that, she'll hit me. I cried when she's choked me. I've cried when she's punched me. If I'm talking on the phone, she'll get on the phone and scream. I'd love to have a sister that would hug me instead of hitting me and punching me.
I don't care, dork brain.
My mom never sticks to the punishments that she makes.
Excuse me, you need to come back in here.
No!
Yeah.
No!
Montana laughs at me when I punish her because she knows that I won't stick with it.
Montana, I'm telling you right now, you tear up another vacuum cleaner and you'll be sorry. I'm not kidding. Put my vacuum cleaner up. Go to your room. Go. I'm not taking you back.
She walks all over me.
I suffocate myself.
I'm most afraid of the fact that Montana is very strong. She knows what things are dangerous, knives, choking.
Well, who would want you to stay all night with them, you hateful thing?
She is so hateful.
Don't tell me to leave you alone. You sit down there and you behave yourself. Stop it.
If I lose Montana to the dark side, I don't know what I would do. I feel like I'm ready to completely lose it. I want my little girl back. I don't want her to be the demon that she is anymore.
Mark and Heather are divorced, and they do fight over how to discipline Montana. Do you both agree that she's out of control?
Yeah.
Yes.
I do, yes.
You both agree that needs to change?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Do you have a theory as to why she is the way she is?
I personally think it's because I'm so passive. I just let her do whatever she wants, and she's the baby. So I haven't taken the time to discipline her because I don't want her to hate me.
She don't make her mind. I mean, she gets on to me if I whip her butt. So then she calls me and asks me, "Hey, why'd you whip Montana?" So.
Well, because we made an agreement. I thought we made an agreement that I don't want her spanked, especially if I'm trying to get across to her that I don't want her to put her hands on people. I think it's kind of, hypocritical to spank a kid when you're telling them to keep their hands to themselves.
And you think it's her fault?
Yeah, I think she doesn't have nobody to argue with at home, and so she argues with my daughters, and then.
That's not true. That's not true.
And you two don't like each other.
Yeah.
I mean, is that true?
We can't get along very.
I can't get along.
You can't get along very well.
5 minutes.
Because this is not about blame. It's not about pointing a finger at you saying you're a bad mother or you're a bad father. What we want to do is fix this situation, right?
Right.
Here's what we collected out what you said. You said, I let her walk all over me. True?
Very true.
Did you say it right? You said, I'm passive, I'm a pushover.
Very much true.
I think she's possessed by the devil.
Oh, there was times that I definitely.
I don't reprimand her because I don't want to be the heavy. I don't want her to be mad at me.
Right.
I don't want to be the bad guy. You said, I absolutely hate Mark, and I can't change that, so I don't communicate with him well about how we need to parent together.
No.
That's true. He knows that yeah.
You think she's just like her dad?
Oh, exactly. I do.
Who you hate?
Who I hate. I don't hate her, no.
But she's just like somebody that you really have a bad feeling about, and so there's clearly a tension there.
Yes.
And you say bad things about him in front of her.
Yes, I've been known to do that.
When you get mad, you call him names and say bad things about her. If she doesn't stop, you give in.
Yep.
So timeouts last 4 seconds.
No, if that.
If
Long
that,
enough.
because she just blows you off.
Yeah. She
Okay,
laughs at
now
me.
you're probably liking this so far. You're thinking this is going pretty well, right?
Yeah.
You admit that you're scared of your own temper, that you're so big and so strong that you're actually afraid you'll get mad and that you might go too far.
Right, I don't want to hurt him.
Of course, you cuss and scream and fight with her.
With both my children. Yeah.
And how old are the kids?
6 and 10.
And you're cussing and screaming and fighting with them. Okay. You say F you and just get the F away to Heather in front of the children.
Yes.
Okay, did I read that right? You have no regular schedule in seeing the kids. Sometimes it's more than a month, and then you just kind of show up.
I'll call her up and be like, hey, can I stop by for, if it's 10 minutes. A lot of times she's like, no, you're not coming to my house. I try to make an attempt sometimes, but she tries to play her power authority and cut me off, so.
No.
Yeah, well,
Yes, that is.
You know why you're not
But-
allowed in the house.
you said she just doesn't discipline them properly. She doesn't know what to do. If you're there 10 minutes every month, how do you know that? And how would you be critical of her if you're not there to deal with it?
I don't. I mean, I know she's the main authority, because they're with her majority of the time, but.
All right. Well, all right, let's take a break. And next, what Mark and Heather can do to change this situation, because I've got good news and bad news coming.
I'm mad at you.
The other day she said, out of the blue, Dad, you're a butthead. Montana gets her meanness from me. So I've whipped Montana a few times. I'll bust her butt with my hand.
Are you worried that you might be raising a little mean girl? I've written a book called Family First that talks about what everybody's role in the family should be. And the second half of this book talks about how specifically to change behaviors that you think are counterproductive. Now, Mark and Heather say they have a 6-year-old who can be very mean. Now, they're divorced. They say they can't see eye to eye when it comes to parenting. In fact, they don't seem to be able to see eye to eye about anything. Heather believes that Mark's macho personality is making Montana even more aggressive.
My dad's very big.
Everybody's afraid of Mark because of his size.
I'm 33 years old and I consider myself a pretty good fighter. Montana, I think, gets her meanness from me.
I'm mad at you.
I've always been in tough man fights and gotten fights on the street. My daughter's witnessed me fighting. She's come up to me, throwing her hands back and saying, Dad, you want a piece of me?
Montana and Mark are alike in the way that they fight. She doesn't hold back anything. He shows her how fighting goes. He watches fighting on television when they're there.
Montana, you want to play Xbox?
Fighting.
That's all she likes to play. I won first place in a tough man fight. Montana thinks my fighting trophy is pretty cool.
When I look at this trophy, I see my dad fighting somebody.
Montana one time witnessed Mark grab me and choke me.
Montana's heard, me call her mama a bitch. I think the impact of me and Heather arguing rubbed off on her. The other day she said, out of the blue, Dad, you're a butthead. So I've whipped Montana a few times. I'll bust her butt with my hand. Montana responds by crying or calling me names. I hate you.
I tried spanking her butt. She's so much stronger than me.
None of the disciplinary actions has seemed to work. I ran into a father the other day and he told me my daughter was a rat.
I hold my ex-husband responsible. I think she gets a lot of it from Mark.
Dr. Phil, my 6-year-old daughter Montana is a bully. I think she got her meanness from me. How can we help her change her behavior?
All right. Look, I am sorry that you two don't get along. And I know the history. We don't need to go into that. That's a whole nother story. This relationship as husband and wife is over. Your relationship as the co-parents of this child will continue into the future. You can't change that. You might divorce your wife, but you cannot divorce your children's mother. You cannot divorce your children's father. And the two of you have to decide that you are not going to be so selfish as to run your own emotional agenda that you're willing to throw her under the bus in order to serve your displeasure with each other. I mean, do you get that?
I understand.
I mean, and you two, first off, you fight in front of this child. You fight in front of her. She hears you call names, scream, yell, slam things around, correct?
Right.
Both of you do.
Right.
Okay, is it any puzzle why she does exactly the same thing?
No.
No.
I mean, children learn what they live, right?
I tried not to argue with her, but she, it don't matter who we're in front of, she will argue in front of anybody. I mean,
Do I need to go back over the names you have called your wife in front of your daughter?
No.
And I'm not
So
innocent.
So why are you, I mean, what you need to be thinking about is what can I do to make this situation better? I said good news and bad news. The good news is your daughter's not evil. Your daughter's not possessed. Your daughter's not even a bad person. And that's good news. The bad news is if you continue doing what you're doing, she is going to be in constant conflict with authority because she doesn't know her boundaries. I look at what you do as parents and I don't ask myself why she does this. I ask myself why not. It's all she knows. It's what she's learned. Children, it's like you write on a blank slate. It's not totally blank because of genetics, but you write on a blank slate of who they are. And when you fight in front of them, it changes who they are. It scares them. Trust me, she is looking for some boundaries. She's looking for some predictability. She's looking for structure. Your job is not to be her friend. Your job is to socialize this child. Your job is to socialize this child. What you have is a child that's not very well socialized.
No one will play with her.
That's why,
I
because
take her
she's
somewhere
not well
since-
socialized.
I mean, I can't even take her in public without, I mean, people want us to leave.
And you understand why, right?
Right. I do.
No?
Well, I mean, if
Good
she
point.
beats them over the head
They
with
don't
a
want their kids
chair,
hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, here's a clue. When the other children are bleeding, that's a bad interaction pattern. Okay, I mean, obviously, I wouldn't want my children playing with a child that was picking up a chair over her head and contemplating dropping them like a bad habit. That's not good.
No.
That's not good. And I don't know what your thinking is of just deciding you're going to be absent, Dad. You need to plug back in here, and you need to plug back in with a consistent plan. The two of you need to make a plan, and you need to have enough emotional integrity to stick with it. Right now, you are rewarding and reinforcing bad behavior. She gets mad, you cave in. Right. You decide, all right, I'm going to be a little tougher. She just gets a little madder.
Yeah, she does.
It's like, okay, I'll go suffocate myself.
Yeah.
And what do? Oh, I'm sorry. You pick her up and did it. I mean, you can't do that.
I'm real
Montana,
you can't
will
do
count
that.
to 3.
Yeah, and
I've heard it.
And you're not even there. You're not even there. So it's like you've got it by yourself. That can't happen. All right, now we're going to add somebody to the conversation. You met her just a few minutes ago. This young lady calls herself the lady of the house, but she's only 4, and her idea of manners is spitting, kicking, and hitting whoever gets in her way. We'll be right back.
A horrible hour with Alyssa would be when she's screaming at the top of her lungs. Stop it, Alyssa. You're being nice. I can't make my kid behave.
When I was 9, I was bullied, beaten up. I found all I could do was to try to stay clear of the boy to be safe, and that's the way it was in school for me. There was nobody to help out.
When I was in high school, there was a group of girls called the Gorilla Girls, and the way that I got around being bullied by them was to befriend them.
I think I fell in with girls that were bullies because I was new to high school and they befriended me right away, so I just got involved with the wrong group.
I feel I became a bully because of the girls that I hung out with. We made fun of other girls by what they wore, what their hair looked like, but I don't believe that's right anymore, and that's why I stopped.
You might think of a bully as a muscular boy, maybe a little bigger than the other kids, who picks on the little ones. Now imagine a 4-year-old girl in a dress who screams, pushes, and spits to get whatever she wants from, it doesn't matter, parents or peers. Now when you watch this, you may think this is a show on birth control. It's not. This is a show on parenting, and it's not about little kids being bad, it's about parents shaping things in a different direction. Take a look.
My daughter Alyssa bullies people. No! She spits, screams, anything she has to do to get her way. Alyssa is the youngest of the 3 kids, and by far, she is the most aggressive. She smashed his finger in the piano. His finger's stuck. Alyssa really picks on the children that are weaker and less aggressive. She bullies all kids, and she has no mercy. She's got balls, let me tell you. Alyssa just started name calling. She will call you stupid or poo-poo head.
Little poo-poo.
A horrible hour with Alyssa would be when she's screaming at the top of her lungs. Alyssa in public is just wild, straight from the jungle. I've even had people offer to shield me so I can spank her. It embarrasses me. He's just trying to help you and be nice. Makes me feel like I'm a very bad mom.
No, I want those. Want cupcakes.
You be nice. Corey does his fair share for what he can because he works so much. We tried everything to discipline Alyssa. Spanking, timeout, we'll wash her mouth out with soap, taking toys away, TV, just send her to bed. Spanking is a joke. She'll tell you it doesn't hurt. She's tough. Timeout is a living hell. She goes nuts.
What time is it?
You're in timeout, and your time doesn't even start till you be quiet. She just spits at you.
Stupid.
I have no control over Alyssa, none at all. I'm their mother, but I still want my kids to like me. I've got your show on. We're gonna have a snack here in a little bit. I can't make my kid behave. It's embarrassing. Stop it, Alyssa. Be nice. I hate when I have to discipline my kids. Dr. Phil, have we done something to make her this way? Is it our fault? Please help me.
What do you think about that as you see it all kind of concentrated? Now, this is just a typical day at home, right?
Yeah, every day.
What do you think about this, Dad?
It's so hard because we can't really take her anywhere, you know. We shouldn't compare her to our oldest two, but we do. You know, they've never acted that way. She is just nonstop on the go all the time. I usually don't get home till around 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, so Janet's been with her all day. Janet doesn't work, so she's been with her all day long. And by the time I get home, she just drives me bananas for 2 or 3 hours, and I'm with her. I mean, it's just nonstop.
You guys have been listening as we were talking earlier. You know, I said to them, I don't wonder why this child, Montana, is out of control. I wonder why not. When you look at this and you say, I'm afraid to spank her, which I don't think helps anyway. I don't want him to think that I'm mean. I feel guilty if I don't give in. Do you see that her behavior works?
Right.
And you say, we put her in timeout? That's not timeout. She's in a lazy boy recliner in the middle of the den and has you as a captive audience answering questions for her.
Well, if I don't sit there, then she won't stay in timeout.
She's controlling you. You're not defending it, are you?
No, I know she's controlling. She's the boss. I mean.
Okay, and there definitely is. Well, let me tell you what I know about you as parents from everything that we've learned. What I know about you as parents is that you have exactly 50% of what it takes to be, for sure, successful. You have to have 2 things. One, you have to have an absolute unconditional love and commitment to your children. And you both have that in spades. You are a loving father, and you care very much about what happens to all of your children, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I know you are a loving, dedicated, worn to a frazzle mom, but you are absolutely plugged in. That's half of the battle right there. You've got to love your children. So you got to have an unconditional love, and number 2, you got to have a really good plan. And you don't even have a really bad plan, right? Your plan right now is if I can get 15 minutes apiece, if I will buy her this, or I will give her this, or I will turn it on, maybe, just maybe, she will leave me alone for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what it's down to. How many hours a week do you work?
65, 70.
And do you understand that that takes you out of the loop, and she is so overwhelmed with this little girl that we've got a full-grown woman and a 4-year-old girl in a tug-of-war, and you aren't only losing, she's just swinging you around her head. You know what I'm going to tell you? You have to do what we call commando parenting. You've got to get involved in this. It means you have to take vacation, leave of absence. If it means you have to sell your house and move into one a quarter of the size. If it means you need to sell your cars and ride the bus, becoming a slave to things at the expense of the little girl is absolutely not a good trade. Do you know that 85% of the children that get kicked out of preschool wind up in juvenile delinquency halls? Because there's a conflict with authority, there's a lack of impulse control, there's an absence of boundaries, and therefore they keep looking and pushing the envelope and pushing the envelope. You've got to stop this now. If you think she's a handful at 4, try 14. Try 14 when she is bigger and stronger and smarter and has a big mouth on her. And she's got a pretty good set of lungs on her now.
Yeah, she does.
You need to make this fight right now.
That's why we're here.
And I'm going to talk about what needs to happen to make this fight. All right. Our next little girl may look like the perfect angel, but her mom says she's a monster. I'm going to tie all of this up and talk about what the strategy needs to be to get things under control. Coming up. Your daughter is so cute.
Dear Dr. Phil, I've created a monster. I've given my 5-year-old anything and everything she wants. Now she's snobby, bossy, and spoiled.
Dad, help me now!
She makes her friends tie her shoes and constantly bosses them around.
Why do you do that?
She's 5. If you tell her no, get ready for a kicking, screaming temper tantrum. She will tell you that her daddy says she's a princess so she can have whatever she wants. Please help, Dr. Phil. I'm afraid she's going to get meaner as she gets older, and I won't know how to deal with the parents or the teachers that she bullies around. Sincerely, Michelle.
All right, today I've been talking to parents who say they are raising girls that are mean, and they're afraid that as they get older that it's just going to get worse. Now, tell me what you've heard so far as I've talked to these two couples that resonates with you. What are you hearing that makes a difference?
I give in too much to avoid the conflict. I think I give her everything. If she wants it, I get it. If she wants to do it, we do it. If she doesn't want to do it, we don't. It's terrible.
What are you thinking? You're an intelligent woman. I mean, all of y'all, you have to know that when you give in, you've just paid off like a slot machine. They throw the tantrums, they yell, they scream, they fight, and you just give in. What did you think was going to happen?
I don't know. Well, when she was younger, it was more everything was cute, and she got such a reaction from it. I mean, everything she did was cute. She'd prance around, I'm a princess. Mommy, I need some water, you know, just with this whole queen. And it was cute, but now it's not cute anymore.
Yeah, and it's getting less cute every day, right? These things get less cute every day. What do you think you need to do now? Heather, what do you think you need to do now?
I need to move and live by myself.
Yeah, can't do that.
I've got to come up with a plan that I'm going to be able to stick with. And I guess I'm going to have to make myself more disciplined so that I can control her myself.
But what needs to change is the family. And I'm going to tell you specifically what you need to do starting tomorrow when we come back.
Dear Dr. Phil, my 11-year-old daughter has been continuously tortured by a girl at school. She harasses my daughter on a daily basis, pulls her hair, shoves her, and calls her horrible names. like bitch and freak. She's written her letter saying that she's going to hurt her. The bully even calls her home. How can young girls be so mean? Help me, Dr. Phil. Sincerely, Jennifer.
That's people talking about your daughters in a few years if something doesn't happen, okay? The first thing that has to happen is all of y'all need to stop reacting, okay? Because you yell and you scream back, you fight, I'm gonna whip you, I'm gonna spank you, I'm gonna ground you till you're 40, and it just escalates. You have to take their power away by failing to react. Here's what you gotta do. You've gotta go home and strip their world. You absolutely have to strip their world. Every toy, every doll, every television set, every entertainment that they have, you have to take it away. These kids have this sense of entitlement, right? It's like, these are my dolls and these are my toys and you give them to me, okay? You gotta take all their posters down, everything out of the room and just get it down to the basics, and then they're gonna scream and yell and holler and go nuts, but they'll eventually get tired. And then they'll wake up and think, I don't remember why I was mad, but I was. At that point, you've got to say, okay, look, you've not been behaving well. And all of those things you enjoy, those are privileges. And you're going to earn those back by behaving in a very specific way. And then you need to give very specific behaviors that you want them to do. Don't just say, don't yell and scream. Instead, say, if you want something, I want you to ask for it in a nice voice, in a nice way. And if I say no, you have to accept that. And if you yell and scream, then we're going into the room and you're going to stay there. And if you say, well, how do I get her to stay there? Lock the door. You guys, she tore the locks off the door, right? You said you're having to go out in the garage and have sex in the van? Because there's nowhere in the house that you can get away from the kid? Okay, look, if you're having sex in a van in your garage, that's a sign that your child is in too much control. Okay, so if you have to, cut the door in half and lock the bottom, and that's time out. Now, and you know, if you say, all right, time out for 5 minutes. If she screams for 50 minutes and then it's quiet, start the time. And if at 4 minutes and 45 seconds she starts screaming again, back to 0. She will learn. You say, well, she'll start gagging. You know what? You can look over the door. Get a monitor and put it where she can't reach it, where you can watch her. Get a nanny cam. Do something where you have safety. Look, this is a showdown, and you can't lose. That's why you've got to be there to help. You have to have a plan that both of you go for, and then let them start earning those things back a little at a time. And don't explain it in the middle of a fight. They will get calm and say, why did you take my toys away? Because you've not been behaving like a young lady. What we need to do is we need to really be careful of other people's property and other people's things. You can't hit your sister. You can't yell and scream at mom or dad. What you need to do is ask in a nice voice. You need to play quietly, and then you need to catch them doing something right. And just go scoop them up and say, you are absolutely the sweetest little girl I have ever seen, and thank you for playing so nice. And then off you go. We have to start reshaping the behavior, but the only thing you can do is get back to the basics first. And I'm talking about mattress, blanket, pillow, no toys, and then let them earn back one at a time. And then if they start again, then they lose it again. And it will go this way. It'll take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and then 3 steps forward and 4 steps back. But you got to be willing to hang in there. I'm going to give you Family First. I'm going to give you the book. I'm going to give you the workbook. In fact, I'm going to give everybody in here a copy of Family First and the Family First workbook. Okay? All right, we'll be right back. Okay. We've been talking today about shaping children's behavior. Now, do you guys get what I'm saying? That we've got to really get back to basics. I've said 2 elements to the plan. One is you've got to calm down and stop reacting and plug in. All of you have to plug in. And if it means you have to work less, you just have to be willing to make a choice. I'm not saying it's easy, only necessary. And then the second thing is you've got to overcome what's learned. They've got to unlearn that and relearn new things. And the only way to do that is strip it and go back to basics. When they go, I can't believe you took all my things away. You are so mean. Just say, oh, I know, I hate that for you. That really does suck. I hate that. But we can get all of that back going again. We just need to learn how to be little young ladies, okay? And I hate that. Well, you're mean. Well, that delays it a little more than I had planned, but if you want to keep saying that, it's okay. You just got to be calm. You just got to be calm and then take it back to base. Can you do it?
Yeah, I can do it.
Can you do it?
I think so, yeah. I'm going to try really hard.
That's a big no. Can you do it? Can you do it? Okay, and make the decision because it's only your daughter's future.
I have to do it. I have to, or I mean, if she's as bad as she is now, what's going to happen in 5 more years?
You can either feed your own need for acceptance and love, or you can feed your daughter's need for socialization. That's the choice you have to make. All right, and we'll follow this and see what happens with you guys. All right, thanks for being here today. Great examples, and you're all loving parents. I know that. I know that. Even him who you don't like sitting next to, he loves his daughter. All right, so you're all going to take home Family First and the workbook that's brand new. It's in paperback now, so it's all over the place. You can find it. Go to drphil.com. I'll have excerpts there, and you can find exercises that you can use to help your family with discipline and these other parenting issues. Thanks for being here. So long. Bye-bye.